Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I'm just going to start engine oil and filter replacement on this 2015 Toyota Highlander. This one has a V6 engine. If you want to see how I do it, stay with me in this video. And before I will get it up in the air, I always tend to open that oil filler cap right sitting here, and I'll always slightly pull the dipstick. A reason for that is to get as much as possible of that oil out of the engine. And now I have that Highlander nicely in the air. I can show you where I will continue, right, working with that engine oil. So obviously, engine oil pan, there will be the drain plug, and this is the engine oil filter housing. I have my oil catching system ready here, so I will use the socket number 14, right, to undo this drain bolt. That was easy. It wasn't over tight or anything. And I'm ready to remove that bolt and start draining that plug. Always pay attention to that little washer which is there, right? Yeah. And I can see that this was really needed. Hopefully you can see the color of the oil, right? It's very dirty. And there was definitely a reason why we are changing it today. Here I would like to show you detail of that bolt, right, and that washer. That's definitely not Toyota, you can see it right away. But it was working okay, so no problem, it wasn't leaking or anything. And I will be installing new Toyota washer on that. And I like to drain that oil as long as possible, right? So I actually started it. I will also undo this filter so it drains, and I will go to the store, to the dealer, to get original Toyota filter. Now for this housing which you saw, you need a special wrench, and this is great design. The drain opening, it's very close to the filter housing, so I can undo this. Hopefully I will be able, because you see me, somebody over-tied it, brutally over-tied it. That's too bad. Last time it was supposedly done by the oil stop company. Oh my god! I'm afraid this SUV will fall off the lift. This is not good. It's definitely, this housing is over tight. That's what you see right now. And this is not the first time, obviously. I worked at the dealer in past, so I saw it so many times. Unfortunately, they are between us technicians who are not using their brain. You know, they don't understand that this will not leak because there is a rubber o-ring, and if it's installed correctly, they just can use the torque which is correctly stated on this filter housing, right? They don't get that or ignore it. They over-tie these, and then it can be a nightmare to remove it. I saw people who will strip these wrenches, right? A special filter wrench. All kinds of stories I saw in the past regarding this, but it is what it is. Some people just don't care. I will say they don't care. They just don't care that somebody else will be working on it after them. And I just let it sit here, and it will start dripping oil. You can probably see it already, right? Also, the oil is coming out of that housing. So I'm ready to leave and go get a part. I'm back from the dealer. Here you can see the number for this 2015 Highlander, right? And you can see what is inside. We have that drain plug, which I don't use. we have the small O-ring, which is for the drain plug, but most importantly the large O-ring, which is for the housing that will be replaced. And here comes the filter itself. It's almost an hour later, believe it or not, both of these are still dripping. I don't have the time to wait anymore, so I will just keep moving. So I will drain, right, this housing, you can see it nicely, right? This is the filter cartridge. I can immediately see this filter is not Toyota, right? It was made by the oil stop, so obviously it's not. I can go ahead and clean this housing if I want, but most importantly, right now, I have to replace this rubber gasket, right? Also pay attention when you're putting the new one back that you put it in the correct groove. I clean this housing inside out, right? Use the brake cleaner, removed all that old oil. Now comes the time for that gasket, and that's what I'm trying to explain here. You have to watch that groove, and it's also shown on that box from Toyota, right? Make absolutely sure that gasket sits in that correct groove, doesn't slip elsewhere, because this is what is sealing this entire assembly. There's no need to over tighten it. All that sealing function is on this rubber gasket. So here comes the new filter, right? Look how beautiful, right? And I just enter it, simple like that. Just put it inside until it fits in. When I have it so nicely in, right, all the way in, I can come here, clean this area, wipe it clean also here. If I want, I can put a little bit of oil on this rubber gasket, right, to lubricate it, that it will be easily going in. And I will start by the hand screwing it inside of that filter housing. Now, I warn you, don't rush this. You want to make sure this rubber gasket, that O-ring, is correctly seated, so you better go slow, because you don't want to pinch it or anything. That will cause the engine oil leaking later, right? So slow down in this stage, don't rush it, make it slow and good. And I really continue with the hand only until it will stop. You can hear all kinds of sounds from it, right? That's the way it's done. And you don't have to remember any numbers, because Toyota brought it on that housing, tightened to 25 Newton meters. And you can use the torque wrench or just very gently, right, use your ratchet, and that's it. There's no need to crank on it super hard. And look, that oil still keeps draining. It still keeps running, right? Despite the fact it's almost an hour. So I will ditch this O-ring, right, the sealer or whatever, crusher washer, and I will use the Toyota, the blue one, right, as we know it. Look, it looks differently on that bolt. And I'm going, I don't have time anymore, I'm sorry. It was already a long time. And I'm putting it in by the hand. Now, what's the torque for that bolt? And if you read Toyota manuals, right, you will find out that it's supposed to be torqued by 38 Newton meters. So I have here the torque wrench, either 38, 39, 40, right? Just giving you a number from Toyota. I either use this or 40, it's the same. It's a very small difference. But this way I know it will be torqued correctly. Listen for that torque wrench. See that? and it says it was 38. Perfect. Now I will clean everything, right? I want to have it perfectly dry here. No oil residue left anywhere. I don't want to ever hear from any customer that they have a drip of oil in their driveway. So now I'm happy and I can lower this SUV. Here I want to show you the detail of that filter which was inside. As you can see, it's completely different design. Also detail of the oil which got out, right, which came out. As you can see, it's pretty bad and it was about a time to replace that. I spoil my customers and their vehicles, so I even got a Toyota original, right, 0W20 full synthetic oil to prevent any possible spills, right? I like to use the funnel and I will start pouring that oil. Now, how much oil this engine needs? If you look in your manual, it says this is taking 6.4 quarts of this 0W20 oil. So I'm going ahead and I will pour 6 and then I will start my measurements using the dipstick. I have 6 quarts in the engine, so let's see what that dipstick will show us. Right? How much oil will be between those marks or above, right? It can be above. If you look with me right here, hope you can see it. It's right tiny bit above the top mark. Does it mean it's overfilled? No. Why? Because now I need to close it, start the engine, wait 5 more minutes for the final measurement, and as the oil will spread through the engine, the level on the dipstick will slightly drop. I've nicely cleaned that plug, right? And I can put it back. The dipstick is already back. And I'm ready to go and start the engine and run it for approximately 1 minute. Here we go, I'm inside of the vehicle and I will closely observe possible engine oil light, right, on the brake. And if there was any, that needs to go off immediately. And of course, as you can see, there needs to be a reset, that maintenance reminder light. What I also will do, I will put here on the windshield, I will do that sticker with the mileage to remind the owner. And that's basically it. As you can see, it's pretty easy, right? Not a big deal, this engine oil filter change. I hope you enjoyed this video. You might find it helpful, someone in the future. And make absolutely sure you are subscribed, because I have a lot of videos coming your way soon. Thanks for watching and have a great day, my friend.